A major concern that has been voiced by fans in the media about the Vikings hiring Kevin O'Connell as new head coach is, oh, he's never been a full-time play caller before. He's been very limited in the calling of the plays. Well, where do you think play callers come from? Huh? Do you think they come from the play caller stork? They just swoop in. It's like, oh, here, this guy's had 5 years of experience. Good to go there, right? But it's not the be-all, end-all. And like we said, it's much more important that the head coach is the manager of the game, manager of the locker room, as opposed to, oh, he's really good at dialing things up on third down. Cool. Congratulations. And we wanted to go through this list. So there's a handful of guys on here that are young, that have had very limited play calling experience before, and it seemed to turn out okay. So starting at the top, Kevin O'Connell, age 36, Vikings hiring him. So he actually does have 11 games of play calling experience after Jay Gruden was fired in Washington. But yeah, he didn't call plays under Sean McVay for the last 2 years. Whatever there. Speaking of Sean McVay, so 31, had 3 years of play calling experience. Jay Gruden actually gave up play calling for Sean McVay because it makes sense. So there you go. Zach Taylor of the Bengals, who was the assistant wide receiver coach and then quarterback coach for 1 year under Sean McVay before the Bengals gave him the job at 35. Seemed to work out. They apparently went to the Super Bowl. Who knew? Kyle Shanahan is the outlier in terms of the young guns and having experience play calling because look who his pops was, right? And also look who his Uncle Gary was when he got his play calling start with the Texans, and then Washington, and then Atlanta. Atlanta did not work out so well. Hey, run the ball a little bit more, man, in the Super Bowl. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it actually works out. Who knows? And also from the Shanahan tree, got Mike McDaniel, 38 years young, getting the job with the Dolphins, seen as this young, amazing. So here's how the media has spun a couple of things. So Mike McDaniel, they see he's like, oh, he's the wonder boy, even though he's never called plays before. Kevin O'Connell, oh, he's just Sean McVay's toady. Great. Cool. Awesome. Great. Or instead of media, maybe just say Florio. I don't know. The 12-year-old boy of the Packers. So Matt LaFleur held basically Kevin O'Connell's job with the Rams for 1 year under Sean McVay after he followed him from Washington. And then he's like, hey, if I am ever going to get a head coaching job, I have to call my own plays. So he spent 1 year in Tennessee as a very meh offensive coordinator. Tennessee was like in the middle of the pack in all categories. And then he got the Packers job. And I don't know, seemed to be working out. Whatever. Kevin Stefanski, as we saw, 37 years young, 1 year play calling experience with the Vikings. Nathaniel Hackett actually had 5 years of experience between the Bills and the Jaguars, but has not called plays the last couple of years in Green Bay. It didn't seem to hold that against them getting the Broncos job at age 42. Andy Reid is the poster child of this, where it's weird to think of Andy Reid, he was young once. Whatever, cuckoo. But Andy Reid at age 40, when he had the crew cut and just had the mustache, well, he still has the mustache. It was more of a broom handle mustache back then. But he was Mike Holmgren's quarterback's coach. He did not call plays. Holmgren was the grand poobah of calling plays with Bert Favre around that West Coast scheme, whatever. So he was hired by the Eagles at age 40, never called plays. It was a big point of consternation amongst Eagles fans. Like, how are you going to give him that? Right? Because Eagles fans are never happy about anything. And for that, we thank you. Tomlin, of course, defensive side of the ball, 34 years young when he got the Steelers job. And we Vikings fans, of course, saw his 1 year, 2006, calling plays for the Vikings defense under Brad Childress. Should have kept Tomlin, but what can you do? Harbaugh never actually called plays because he was a special teams coordinator / DB coach before he got the job at age 45. Frank Reich at age 56. Interesting. So he was basically Kevin O'Connell at a bunch of various stops. So he was the OC of San Diego when Mike McCoy was there calling plays. He was the OC of the Eagles when Doug Peterson was there calling plays. So at age 56, like he never actually called plays, but it seemed to be working out pretty decent with the Colts. Nick Sirianni, 39, of the Eagles, was with Frank Reich in Indianapolis before he went back to Philly. Doug Peterson, of course, was with Andy Reid. John Madden never called plays before he got the job at age 32. And yes, you could say it's a different era, sure. But John Madden was the linebackers coach before he got the head coaching job. And then also Joe Gibbs, 3 years of calling plays, 1 with Tampa Bay, 2 with San Diego, and then he got the head coaching job at Washington at age 40. Seemed to work out. 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks, a feat that will never be done again. Pretty damn amazing, man. But yeah, the whole, he's never called plays on a consistent basis before. I really don't care. I don't. Plus, he's probably going to be pretty good. If he chooses to call his own plays, which he probably will, he's probably going to be pretty good. He's been an NFL quarterback for 5 years. And then he's been an NFL QB coach, OC, passing game coordinator for the last 7. Plus, what do you think he does on game day? Besides advise advise Sean McVay, who's calling the plays. Like, he's on the headset, or do you think he's just sitting there having a couple hot dogs like AJ Cole at the Pro Bowl? You think that's what's happening? So, no, he is in the trenches. He is on the call. All these plays of one of the best young offensive minds that we've seen in the last couple decades in the NFL. Yeah, he's on call every single time. So, yeah, I think that he'll probably learn a few things through osmosis. Or, like I said, maybe he takes a step back. It's like, hey, I need to free up my bandwidth on game day. I need to be the head coach of the offense, defense, and special teams, take care of the clock, manage personnel. So I'm going to acquiesce calling plays. And maybe he brings along Wes Phillips or Zach Robinson from the Rams as their first-time play caller. And then it's like, oh, they've never called plays before. Where do you think they come from? Again, but no, I think in terms of list of concerns for Kevin O'Connell, him never calling plays full-time is like, I don't know, 17th. No. Can he manage the game? Can he manage the people? That is the job. Play call. You can hire people who do X's and O's all day long. But Kevin O'Connell, no. You got faith, man. Got faith. But your thoughts are thoughts. Oh, Kevin O'Connell's never fully called plays before. Whatever. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.